If you relax your grip for even a second, everything will fall apart. That's the quiet fear almost every high-performing clinic owner, practitioner, spa owner, or healer has when they start thinking about opening a second location. And it's the exact fear that keeps brilliant, capable owners stuck at one location years longer than necessary. There are a lot of preconceived notions about what it takes for you to expand your business the way you want. Hear this though, you don't need to become harder, colder, more controlling, or more exhausted to scale safely and in a way that feels good to you. You don't need to sacrifice your sleep, your health, your kids, or definitely not your sanity to open that additional location you've been planning. If you are losing any of those things as business expands, it's a sure symptom of trying to fit your life and business growth into someone else's ideas of how it should be. You definitely don't need to follow someone else's old dead rules about how business expansion is supposed to work, no matter how amazing it sounds in theory, or no matter who it worked for in the past. Because I fully believe business should fuel you and not deplete you and keep you up late at night. Your business should be providing you with a life you love, and if you're not there yet, you truly can be. We'll get into how that can happen for you today. If you're watching this, you're probably already expansion capable. You're looking at bigger, better, and more. This is natural and wonderful instinct for people built to be entrepreneurs and business owners. You're probably doing anywhere from 400K and up. Your first location works. You've got processes and systems in place. Your brand is working for you. Your offer and services are working. Your reputation is going before you and paving the way for an excellent clientele base. And I bet you're pretty dang proud of how far you've come. I need you to take a moment to reflect and enjoy that. You are a big deal. You already know you're meant to open location number 2, right? But internally, when you approach the project of opening that second location, it feels like coming up against a wall of chaos because your mind is carrying 100,000 micro decisions, team worries, potential HR issues because people, client experience fears, marketing logistics, training logistics, and then to top it off, sneaky questions that complicate it like what if somebody quits? What if the standards slip? And other possible out of control scenarios. So you hesitate, quite understandably. Almost all of us hit that point, not because you're weak or scared, not because you're unmotivated. Also, it's not because you don't know what to do, but something inside you is secretly applying the brakes and keeping you from taking the action you know you're capable of. Let me give you a visual that explains exactly what's happening. Imagine you're driving on a major highway. It's wide, smooth, well-built, designed for speed and getting you where you want to be as fast and safely as possible. That highway is like you doing your business. It's doing all it was built to do. But imagine it starts snowing, and at first it's just a few flakes, nothing dramatic, so you keep driving. Then some more flakes, it's still manageable. But over time, those tiny flakes are going to accumulate and visibility is going to drop. Traction starts slipping. You're going to be left squinting your eyes and clutching at the wheel, determined to continue, but you start wondering if maybe better tires would help or something else could get you there better. But given enough snow, eventually, even the best highways with the best tires, the best businesses can get shut down. Not because the road itself is bad or because drivers are incompetent, but because there's just too much snow that has accumulated. Now, here's the part most business owners miss. It doesn't matter how powerful the vehicle is. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are at that point. It doesn't matter how successful any previous trips or efforts were. If the road isn't cleared, continuing is going to be or feel dangerous. Unless the road is actually shut down by outside forces, you can still move, but you'll go slower. You'll white-knuckle it. You'll take a whole lot more energy than you should need for this. You'll second-guess turns that should have been familiar. And you'll constantly fear sliding into a ditch. The snow are your micro fears. They swirl, they pile up together until you've just got a mess stopping you. But you can't name each little piece. You're stuck fighting it as a whole and pushing through it with the best of your strength and will and skill. Those micro fears cover a lot of things, like your old caretaker rules and people pleasing that helped build to where you are, imagined expectations you think others will have of you going forward, your guilt at outgrowing where you were, your imagined disaster scenarios, over responsibility to control outcomes, and your hypervigilance. They're often seen as tiny things you can ignore, but given enough of them, even the path with the best plans for expansion becomes terrifying. They're often seen as tiny things you can ignore. This is what I call internal interference. It creates so much cognitive friction. It's an energetic tax that slows your decisions, it fragments your focus, it exhausts your nervous system. That's why expansion of business feels so heavy instead of exciting and fulfilling like it should. That's why you know exactly what to do, but still can't move as efficiently and happily forward as possible. Now layer this on top of the snow problem. You're driving through that storm and your windshield starts fogging up from the inside. You can still see, sort of, right? But everything is distorted. Every decision feels risky. Every move feels high stakes. So you slow down even more. You lean forward and grip the wheel tighter. You overcheck everything. That fog is old pattern and belief residue. It's old identity wiring. It's caretaker survival rules, guilt loops, and hyper responsibility. So the real kicker is most of my clients are not blocked by the road itself, and you aren't either. You're blocked by what you can't see clearly through your own windshield. My clients aren't blocked by being able to see through their own patterns and outdated rules, expired rules that used to work, or at least weren't overwhelming them, but they don't help in this situation or going forward. So you've been told that no one will care about your business like you do, which makes so much pressure on you to make it work. Your brain could be saying, if you relax your grip, it's going to fall apart unless you're hypervigilant. And another common underlying belief is you have to suffer to scale. You have to be on call 24/7 to expand it. You can't trust an employee with something this important. So you tighten your grip and you overfunction, overprotect, overcarry, you overcheck, and you replace that for true leadership. What that behavior actually creates is more snow, more fog, more internal interference, and a more difficult path. Pat yourself on the back though, for getting this far. That's really impressive with that low visibility. Very commendable. We're going to talk about how to make it so much easier and faster though, so you get the outcome worthy of what you're putting in, so you can expand the kingdom-sized business you desire. Because the real problem isn't in the trappings, it isn't in your team, it's not your systems, it's not your strategy, it's that invisible signal interference inside your nervous system. Rules like I'm responsible for everyone's well-being, if something goes wrong, it's all my fault, if I don't personally hold it all together, it could collapse. Those rules made you successful at the first stages of business. But now they're creating an energetic tax that burdens your speed going forward. Those internal rules and fears are slowing your decisions and keeping you trapped in caretaker leadership. My name is Abby Motsky. I'm the creator of the Power Zone Effect, and over the past decade, I've worked with more than 2,000 high-performing people, including founders, executives, clinicians, and operators across dozens of industries. I've helped entrepreneurs grow new ventures, multiply locations, and stabilize their leadership at the next level, all while making it feel more safe and rewarding. I supported company presidents and senior leaders navigating project investments in the multiple tens of millions. I'm the secret weapon behind high-achieving business owners who want to succeed in all areas of life without compromising their health, their families, and their peace. But I don't fix mindset and I don't give strategy. I just remove internal interference. So your goals and your leadership and your nervous system can finally start working together for you, so you get out of the effort you're putting in. Let me tell you about a specialty health food cafe owner I worked with. It was a single mom with a big, big heart, super high integrity, deeply committed to her staff and her customers. Her first location was a great success with lots of investment and hard work. It could easily float the opening of a second location, but she was stuck barely pre-launch. She knew where, what, and how. She was stuck not because she didn't know what to do. She knew who she would promote, who she wouldn't bring to location to, what roles needed restructuring, what marketing needed to happen, but her mind was drowning in clutter. 1,000 internal voices, 1,000 what ifs, 1,000 micro fears and worries keeping her from making that leap. And underneath it all was the same fear. If I stop holding so tight, it will fall apart. She was still doing entry-level work at times, which I know you'll catch yourself doing. She would cover for employees who didn't show. She would micromanage details her team should have owned. That caretaker energy was burning her alive. In our very first session, she said, I know this is the support I need. Something inside me is just clicking. And as we cleared that internal interference, her decision latency collapsed. She reorganized her team into roles that actually suited them. She delegated fast without panicking. In fact, I hardly heard a word about it. She was decision-making and action-taking without great friction that had built up before. She trusted her leaders. She trusted herself more than ever. She launched Location 2 without working double duty, a super huge win. And here's some of the collateral benefits she found too. She started sleeping. She became more present with her kids. She made time with them that was quality and not simply survival. She finally felt like, I'm not carrying this whole business on my back anymore. That's sovereign leadership. That's what we want to see in all peak performing entrepreneurs and business owners. Let me give you one more example. A landscaping company owner came to me with a 5-year dream. He wanted to open a second operations base 45 minutes away so he could expand the territory his company could serve. And on paper, he was so ready. Strong demand, solid cash flow, capable crew, a great team manager at Site 1, but internally, he was second guessing everything. He couldn't trust his own good heart. He kept worrying about team drama from the past possibly repeating, productivity drops, going unseen if he wasn't watching it himself, and things falling apart if he wasn't physically present to keep it moving. As we cleared his internal interference, his hesitation dissolved. I could even see it on his face through the session. He hired strategically and with confidence in the first few weeks, using natural insights he was no longer afraid of trusting. He opened that second operations base, and he hit a goal he'd been dreaming about for over half a decade. To keep drama down and productivity up for the health of his 2 teams, he now sponsors bi-weekly Power Zone meetings for his staff, so their alignment and peace can benefit their lives at home and their work impact also. That's what sovereign leadership looks like in the real world, being able to take control of your destiny and impact lives in ways you couldn't otherwise. It's a huge switch from caretaker leadership, which gets stopped by those snowbanks of internal interference and internal worries. Let me level with you. Like these entrepreneurs scaling up, you don't need better delegation skills. You don't need another business strategy coach. You don't need more hiring framework. You need the internal road cleared so that you can move faster on all tasks and delegation. You need the internal fog gone so you can envision and see clearer to tap your natural creativity and problem solving. You need internal interference removed for your instincts and your mind to collaborate seamlessly again. When that clears, delegation stops triggering panic, your guilt dissolves, imagined fears evaporate, your nervous system stops acting like expansion is a threat, and you become a strategic owner instead of an over-responsible caretaker. You build an elite team you can trust with your business. You get more accomplished with less time-wasting energy. You need internal interference removed for your instincts and your mind to collaborate seamlessly. When that clears, delegation will stop triggering panic, your guilt dissolves, your imagined fears evaporate, your nervous system stops acting like expansion is a threat. You become a strategic owner instead of an over-responsible caretaker. You build an elite team you can trust with your business, you can get more accomplished with less time and energy wasting, and you finally build business your way. This is exactly what I do in my Power Zone Effect private work. This is the plow that precisely clears the roadway and defogs your vision. We identify where your nervous system is running old expired rules. We then clear internal interference patterns that stop your mind. We collapse decision friction so decisions are so fast they're not sapping your energy and spinning your wheels. We rewire your system for sovereign leadership so you run your business the way you do it best. We align your energy with the goals you've already chosen so you get there with time to spare. So your business expansion becomes squeaky clean and efficient with big momentum, not heavy, dramatic, and exhausting. You should be able to sleep at night while expanding locations. If you're still sitting at one successful location and you know you're meant for 2, but something inside you keeps hesitating, it is not because you are a problem or broken. It is because your nervous system is still running expired rules, the ones that no longer match who you are now and where you're at. You don't need to sacrifice your peace to scale. Business should fuel you, not deplete you. Now, this program is not for dabblers. I do not do tips, hacks, or surface level motivation. It is not for owners who secretly want someone else to do their expansion work for them. This is for high integrity founders doing real revenue who know they're meant for location 2, are ready to move out of the internal interference that's been painfully slowing them down. If that's you and you want to explore what this could look like inside my Power Zone Effect private work, I need you to message me the word second location and we will have a real high-level conversation about whether this is the right fit for you. Here's to building business your way. Here's to your sovereign leadership. Here's to expansion without losing any more sleep.